So I would like to introduce now our first speaker. Her name is Benedetta Argentieri, and she's an Italian journalist working for Corriere della Sera. Currently she's studying at Columbia University journalism and politics.
Yeah. Well, I covered since 2005 extreme right movements in Italy and in Europe. And what strikes me about the name of this panel, that I want to make sure that everybody agrees on it, that fascism never really left Europe, because it's always been there in different forms, in different ways. I can cite like every single country has their own fascism that never left them, like Spain with the Franco regime, Greece with the military junta, and I can go on like for a long time. The point is that what's happening now is this new kind of new politics parties, such as the Front National or even like the Italian Forza Nuova, and there are others that kind of trying to distance themselves from the word fascism. They always reply to newspapers, we are not neo-fascist, we are just ultra-nationalists. But the reality is that they are trying to, they basically, their ideology is fascist itself. It's it's white nationalism, xenophobic ideas they always portray, and also a lot of homophobias. And homophobia is one of the center points. I mean, you find other gay people attacked throughout Europe, even because they are linked somehow with the LGBT community. It happened in Sweden 3 days ago in Malmö, where one of the lawyers of the LGBT community has been stabbed. Fortunately, he didn't die, but still, you know, there are a lot of people that fear for themselves. I think that one of the places where this phenomenon is the highest is Russia. The LGBT community in Russia is actually facing one of the greatest challenges because, first of all, there is a hole in the laws. The governments actually back up this kind of aggressive behavior towards gay and lesbian and in general, and it is a real danger. In the past year, there's been reports about these new gangs. There are about 445 homophobic groups recognized and registered in this like VK, it's like a Facebook, the Russian Facebook. And a recent study believes that they have at least 200,000 followers throughout the country. That is great numbers, actually. The way they behave and the way they actually organize to attack like LGBT community is very easy. They attract their victims through this VK Facebook kind of things. They contact them, they try to meet up, and then it's a trap. They arrive at this meeting like in usually 5, 6, 7, and they kidnap them and torture them and humiliate them, and they really do horrible things. And then they post those videos on YouTube, so people actually can go and see it, and you will see, if you go on YouTube, like thousands of them. In the last year, it has been reported that 1,500 people have been kidnapped and tortured, but they believe that the number of victims is much higher because most of the people are actually scared and afraid to go and report, because the police and in general, the government is not doing much, actually is doing as less as possible. And these groups actually are trying to act very smartly. And they found that the Occupy pedophiles, basically it's all these groups, they operate under this umbrella in order to avoid like kind of persecutions. Because from what I've studied, the Russian law, it has some like holes in what are like how pedophiles should be treated. So basically these groups should be persecuted. So this group says, these people are pedophiles, so we are just, protecting our community. And the police actually give them from them, yes, you're right, so it's okay. The guy who actually founded these occupied pedophiles is called Maxim Marcinkiewicz. He flew Russia last year because they wanted to finally persecute them. He sought asylum in Cuba, went extradited, he went to court, and now he's free because the government said, come on, this is not so bad. At the end of the day, Russia government has expressed many times what's their view on gay and gay rights is. And this is going with this trend. Also, there is also a new other factor in these gangs, which is quite worrying, is the rising of women who perpetrate that kind of violence toward the LGBT community. All these groups are linked with neo-Nazi groups. Actually, they are most of the militants are from neo-Nazi groups. And as the Sova Center is a Russian center for information, said that in 2014 at least 6 people have been killed in this attack. The point is that this it's a new wave of rage towards the LGBT community. They've never really gone away, but before the neo-Nazi groups have attacked much more ideological enemies, so extreme left, or even, or they had more racial attacks. But now they are attacking people, gay people, and religious. They're doing religious attacks because the law is kind of helping them out of not being persecuted. The problem is that Russian community, the Russian society is supporting this kind of anti-gay right in mentality, let's say. For the Pew Center, 3 out of 4 Russians do not accept homosexuality. 85% is against gay marriage, and 34% consider homosexuality a disease. I mean, these numbers are quite impressive, and I think that might help able to understand what is going on. But I think another key element about what's happening in Russia is the Orthodox Church, which is, again, against any kind of, is against homosexuality as a whole, but is against gay marriage. They think that gay people are sick, and so this is, it's another problem within the society. It's basically the to better understand what is going on is the LGBT community is seen as an enemy, and people are a direct threat to what their traditional values of a family is. So basically these neo-Nazi groups, they're just saying we are protecting our traditions, and society, of course not everyone, but is saying, okay, well, do whatever you want, but as long as I don't see. And that's not very particularly constructive. Anyway, and sorry, I stumbled a little bit and I ran after, so I think I can finish.